You're watching All to Play For, brought to you by Joe and Coral.
Welcome to All to Play For, the first of our Euro 2020 specials, brought to you by Joe and Coral, with me, Lynsey Hipgrave, and you, Joe Cole.
Great to see you, Lyns.
Good to see
Welcome
you. Thanks
to
for
the
having
team.
me. And throughout the Euros, we're going to be recording our pods from here, our very own pub, the All to Play For Arms. I'm not sure how you angled that.
Listen, it doesn't get much better. It's in my contract. Had to be in a pub. Does not get much better than this, does it? Euro 2020, in a pub. Happy days.
Some people want white lilies, you just want a boozer.
Just a good old East London boozer. It'll do me. We're going to finish the show and attack the bar afterwards, hopefully.
Exactly. We're looking forward to it. And every episode, we're going to be having a bit of a chinwag with a legend of the game. We're going to chat about the upcoming Euro 2020 fixtures, discuss the tournament's movers and shakers, and of course, delve deep into those inside stories that only we can bring you. And that's not it. We're going to jump on the tools after every England game as well to bring you our post-match reaction and analysis. So make sure you're tuning in for that. But first, should we introduce today's guest? Because he's Bulgaria's most capped player of all time. He captained his country at Euro 2004. He's a hero at Celtic, a god at Villa Park. To some, he's known as Stiliyan, but to us, he's just Stan the man. Welcome,
Hello.
Stan.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I agree. The pub is a great place, but where's the beer?
Listen, it's not 12 yet, Stan. Come on, we're not animals at All to Play For. We at least wait for PM.
Okay.
You need to get that in the contract as well.
Yeah. But do you know what? I come across Stan when he was coming. I think he was trying to get back into the game when I was at Villa. Like, I was shot to pieces. But Stan joined in training with us, and it wasn't fit, but the quality was there. Like, it was like, he's a proper player, this man. Trust me. I remember thinking, we got to get him fit, get him in the team, because at the time we were struggling, and he was a different class.
When did you two last see each other then?
Oh, the last time when I saw, obviously we've seen each other in the different places, but that was at Villa when Joe was at Villa, and I love coming at there and watching Joe training because it was class. I've played against Joe when I was 18. If you remember, Upton Park, we played Bulgaria against England, and that was the first time when I've realised how good Joko, how special he is, and then I followed his career. But he was a Villa, and that time, I know you said it, that you struggle a lot with the injuries, and you were trying to get back to fitness. But that was the time when I was like, wow, I'm closer to the man that I used to watch when he was younger. So it was a great experience. And I wasn't fit. I was never fit anyway. You were just saying that.
Well, finally, just a day away from Euro 2020 kicking off. It's just a year behind schedule. How excited are you for the tournament to kick off?
I'm so excited. I mean, in our house, my two boys, it's like all they can talk about. They've got their, like the things we used to have as a kid, like the little posters. They got them up.
The wall chart.
He's on it. Like Italy, he's been studying Italy and Turkey, so it's going to be wicked. I'm going to have for the England game. I'm not working, which I'm actually happy about. I'm going to get everyone round ours and watch the game, and hopefully have a good day. What are you doing, Stan, for the tournament?
Watching at home.
Yeah.
I've got friends coming over, the family. I love the big tournaments.
Yeah.
I just love the build up. I had the pleasure to play in 2004. It wasn't the best one, but you know what? Just being part of it and just know what everybody, the excitement, big teams, And actually, Joe, I think you would be very excited about the England team because I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I predicted that maybe they could win it. I think because of everybody's hype.
Yeah.
Because the talent you produced in the last couple of years, and now the creativity and the talent you've got going forward.
It's unbelievable, isn't it, mate?
Oh my God.
Well, our friend Jack, I had a close-up view of Jack coming through when I was at my year at Aston Villa. Stan knows all about him. I mean, I'm not surprised. The only thing that's surprising for me is he's taken him. He's 25 now to play in his first tournament for England, but I think that's more a indictment on the management, because I love Gareth, but the system leading, like maybe the managers who developed him. Jack's so talented, ain't he?
I've done when I was going back from my illness. I was coaching with Gordon Cowns under 20, under 23, and Jack was part of it.
Yeah.
So Jack what we try to do is limit his touches because Jack like taking the ball. He just like to. He loves to be kicked. He like to carry that ball. He wants to be in the spotlight. Yeah. So one game we were playing and he was playing on the left, so he keep getting the ball and he's like drifting across the pitch and he's taking people on. He won't shoot. He'll try to get the perfect goal. And I'm like, Jack, if you keep doing it, we'll take you off. He'll look at me and he'll keep doing it. He'll keep doing it. And the next moment he picked the ball. He looked at it, played 1-2 with the striker, took a touch, and he bent in the far corner, scored. Yeah. He looked at me, and I just realised, just don't tell him. The boy just know how to play. He just does his own thing. Now you can see him. Yeah. The way he travel around the players and take the ball. He just loves playing with the ball. You know, sometimes we've been in a situation when the team is losing or you're having a bad game. You just don't want the ball. You want that little, 10 minutes of not getting the ball. He's a completely different. He goes and take the ball every time you've got a chance. You go and pick it from the defense and you drive and you go. Yeah. If you lose it, you'll do it again.
100%.
And this makes a huge difference. That's what makes him most dangerous. His ability to take that ball, make a mistake, get it again and produce. Yeah. Because this is what players hate. I used to kick him. Because that was the only way to actually get the ball. Because, people don't realize we're talking about his ability but the way he shield the ball, he gets the ball in the right side, he put his body between the player and the ball. And you can see the only way you can get the ball is fouling him. And you as a manager, you're thinking, I'll take that. Sometimes, people talk about taking too many touches, but it looks good to him. I used to have a Krasimir Balakov when we were in the national team, Joe. And I remind me of Jack. Is that he'll take the ball and he'll lose it and he say, I'll tell you what, you lose it, we'll look ugly. I lose it, we'll look classy. That's his Jack as well. Even if he lose the ball, people are like, oh, this is brilliant. So that's what type of player he is.
Who do you think is going to win the overall tournament then? Do you think England can win it because of Jack and players like that?
I think so, because don't forget it, 90% of the games are in England.
Yes.
At Wembley.
It's vital.
This is a huge advantage for England. I mean, with the talent that England has, with the players, we can just start with Jack. Foden, Mount, Rashford.
Unbelievable.
Harry Kane. You know what? It's really interesting to see Harry Kane, what he's going to do, because there's a lot of question out there for him. Is he going to move? He's not going to move. Can he do in that big tournament, that big stage? So it's a big tournament for him as a captain as well. So I'm excited. But what about France? What about Portugal?
It's hard to look past France, isn't it?
That's where the money's going, France. There's a lot of pundits, our colleagues are backing France, and you can see why. But there's little things going on in the press this week. I don't know if you've seen it, Linz, but Mbappe and Giroud, the fallout.
It's quite well.
Sometimes France have this self-destruct button, and I'm really hoping they push it because they are some team, but world champions, look unbeatable at times, but there seems to be a little bit of a problem in there.
Tension there. Where you didn't feel like Mbappe was passing to him enough in the game. He came out and said it afterwards.
It's nonsense, isn't it? It's like, maybe it's a bit of immaturity. I don't know what it is, but then you contrast that with the England camp. I listened to Jack do an interview yesterday, and he was brilliant. He was mature. I've sat down and listened to him, but he seemed relaxed. And then I listened to someone else on the radio. I think it was Mason Mount, relaxed, calm. And I think Gareth takes a lot of credit for that. The England squad, from all accounts, all the noises, is the most harmonious it's ever been.
What about your dark horses for the tournament then? What about like Poland with Lewandowski up front?
I don't think it will be a dark horse, though. You think that it's going to be a surprise, because the strong nations, the strong teams, they're out there to win it. Maybe Germany. I know
Germany is the dark horses. You're going to be popular with the England supporters here.
But I'll tell you why, because they haven't been that successful in the last couple of tournaments. They haven't been performing, but they've got the players to do it. Because I don't think I've heard anyone saying Germany've got a chance. Now Germany's becoming like, no, not yet. I think they've got the players to do it if they perform. I watched them against Latvia the other day. I know we're saying it's only Latvia and they won't stop him. They
No,
will
pushing.
Typical German mentality.
Yeah.
We've got chance to beat you, we will beat you. You give us opportunity, we'll punish you. That's why I know people will say, oh yeah, but they're a strong team. They haven't done that well.
No.
And I think they've got the players to do it.
And Yogi loves Swan Song as well, so you just wouldn't put it past him before he goes as well. Well, the outright winners of Euro 2020 odds with Coral, it's 4-1 for France, England 5-1, Belgium 13-2, Germany are 8-1, and Poland 80-1 as well. So that's your odds there. But Stan, you're Bulgaria's record appearance holder. You know what it feels like to pull on that kit for your national team. Just what did it mean for you to play for your country?
It was everything. I think it was as much as it was my dream, I think it was my dad's dream as well. My dad was one of these old-fashioned players and demanding, and he saw something in me, and he wouldn't stop pushing me until actually I succeed. It was one of that. Sometime people say, oh, was that too? It was not too hard on you. No, it was expected. It was expected because he wanted me to succeed. He was a great player. He was a midfielder. Right. But he never had the chance to play for the national team. So I think that was his dream as well. And he saw in me, and he saw I'll push him as much as I can. And I loved it. When I've played through every single age group. I mean, I've said earlier, we played against each other earlier, and I've played through every single age group. And when I made my debut, that was the dream come true, because I mentioned earlier about I wanted to become like my idols. That was Stoichkov, Balakov. They were big. They were playing for Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Sporting Lisbon, and I wanted to be like that. So for me to be part of that national team for nearly 13 years, I think, the funny thing is, the other day I was looking it through. I've only been subs like something like 3 times. I started
every single game.
I started every single game.
From how long was the time span? When did you make your
1999.
Wow.
And I retired in 2000.
So did you actually play with them players that were your hero, Stoichkov? Talk to me about him. The left foot was like a hammer, weren't it?
Incredible. I've played with him in the national team. I've played with him in the CSKA Sofia. He was my coach. It was incredible. I mean, when I went in the national team, we played England just before I moved to Celtic. So he was the captain.
I remember.
He was the leader.
I was the game.
I was there, and I'm like, oh my God. And he was leading you. He was talking to you. He was a predator. The game mode. It was. You've never seen something like that. He was just a winner. He just wanted to go out, win, and be the best. By the time when I was in the national team, he was kind of just start to finish in his career. But then he still had that fire. And I loved every single minute. I've listened to every single advice he gave me. But for me, it was something that I will always cherish, because it's a special moment.
Well, as you're talking about Stoichkov, it's time for What Really Happened.
Okay.
Because this is where the audience pick a moment from your career that they want to know more about, okay?
Go on then.
So we're going to take you back to 2006.
Okay.
So Bulgaria, unbeaten after 4 Euro 2008 qualifiers. Things gone really well. You're captain of the side. Your idol, of course, Stoichkov, is the manager. And then you announce your decision to quit international football at the age of just 27. Tell us why. What really happened?
Well, very stupid for me, I would say. Stupid in a way, because I thought I could change certain things. Not against Stoichkov. It's people in the federation. Always worked, honestly, I've worked so hard to become somebody, to do everything in the right way. And I saw things that I wasn't happy with. And you know what? I thought that I was the big player. I was me, Berbatov, Martin Petrov. We were quite big. We were playing. We had the voice. And I thought if I do it, they may take notice. But you know what I've noticed? They didn't care. And I've noticed it very quickly. And I've come back very quickly. And you know what? Stoichkov, I had a conversation with him, and he knew my decision. He knew that I left. And after that, I called him and I said, by the way, I've done a mistake. And it's something that I thought that I could do, I could change. I don't think that was the case. And he said to me, I know where you're standing. I know your frustration. And I'll tell you what, I've been there. If you want to come back, if you want to play again, you're always welcome in my team.
That's class.
That was class.
What was your relationship like with Stoichkov after
Very
that?
good.
It didn't
Very
affect
good.
it?
We still speak. We still chat. Obviously, we talk about Gomo. He lives in Miami. He works for the Mexican TV. He loves it. We have a great relationship.
Yeah.
We both worked really hard to achieve what obviously he's in a different level than me. He's one of my idols.
He's an icon, Stoichkov.
So for me, is something that I always appreciate. We have a great relationship. We always had a great relationship. We never had a problem.
You must have some funny stories about him, though. He's always known as a bit of a loose cannon, a bit volatile.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I've done a charity game up at Celtic, so I've invited him to come and play, and he comes and play, and everything is okay. He's arrived. There's a big attention. He's in our stories. So we get into the dressing room, Joe. And the next thing, I went to do press, and they would the boys are changing, and I keep seeing like 4 missed calls. Stoichkov plays with number 8. Number 8.
Yeah.
So next thing, I'm warming. I said, "Everything okay?" He go, "No," and I went, "Oh, what's happening?" He said, "Can you come? I'm just outside the dressing room." So he comes, he pulled me in the side and said, "Sorry to ask, but they've put number 10. And I went, "What do you mean they've put number 10? They've got the instruction that you're number 8. He said, no, there's number 10. He said, "Stoichkov, number 10. You think we can change it?" And I went, "No." So walking in, Joe, number 10, and I can see he's screwing. He's screwing, and I'm like, that will be sorted straight away. This is Stoichkov. He's got principles. He's got things that he stick with, and that's me. I'm Hristo Stoichkov. I play number 8.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. That's me. I've got my own brand, and you just have to respect it.
Did you play number 10?
Oh, him? No.
They changed it.
Yeah, changed it straight away.
Who was the number 8? Who was the number 8?
Alan Thompson.
Was it?
Yeah, obviously it was a Celtic, and the kidman was like, "Yeah, but Tom was number 8." I said, "Tell Tom he has to go another number." And it was funny, but that's Stoichkov, and he knows what he wants and how to get it, because he's achieved so much.
Do you know, that reminds me of when I signed for Chelsea, I met Claudio Ranieri with my dad, and after discussion, I said, "I'd like to wear the number 10 shirt." And no problem, Claudio, no problem. But on the same day, they signed Seba Varon. So he's promised the number 10 shirt to Seba Varon. So then we've come into about to sign the contract, and my dad's there, and he's noticed on the contract that the shirt number was going to be number 20. So my dad went, I was like, I didn't have the principles of Stoichkov. I just wanted to get to Chelsea. So I was like, "Yeah, that's all right." And my dad went, "Well, no, it's not, son. Start as you mean to go on. They told you number 10, you're playing number 10. And then Trevor Birch, bless him, he was doing the deal. He went, "Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine." And he started panicking. My dad, "Well, we're leaving unless he gets number 10. And I'm kicking my dad under the table, going, "No, we're not leaving. I want to sign this deal." And he's gone, "Well, we're leaving. You have to wear the number 10. And they're panicking, and they rung Claudio. He'd forgot, because at that time, there was new players coming to Chelsea. He don't know what he's saying to people. So he had to ring Seba. And luckily, Seba was like, "Yeah, there's no problem. If you promised it to Joe before me." So I got the number 10 shirt, but I was just kicking my dad under the table going, "Please don't mess this up for me." But he probably more of the Stoichkov era, where he's like, "No, if someone tells you something, you got to do it." So
Principles, that was his principles. And when I called him back, and I won't say I've done a mistake, he was like, "Yeah, I've been there. My principle is like, everybody got a second chance, so come back. You're in the straight next game. Don't have to worry about it. Just to let you know, you'll be picked. You're gonna be under fire, but you have to deal with it." Moved on.
Brilliant.
And you're basically an honorary Scotsman after your time at Celtic, where you won an incredible 10 trophies. Who are you going to cheer on during England-Scotland?
I will cheer football. That's what I'm gonna cheer. But I can't wait for this game. Honestly, I can't wait, because I've loved British football. The passion, the excitement, the pace, everything. And these two countries, they just love clashing against each other. So I can't wait. I will go. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Scotland will give a good goal, but I think England probably will have too much.
You know they're going to play out of their skins against us, don't you?
Of course they will. I was at the last game, Linz. Euro 96, I had tickets. I was right behind the goal where...
Do you remember?
Seaman saved the penalty from McAllister, and then I was literally still celebrating, and then looked up the other end at Wembley, and you see Gazza lift the ball over Colin Hendry, and it's just, I can still picture it now. Like, and it's like time stood still. Colin went out to get his pie from he was don't know what he was doing. He dived in, and it seems to take ages for Gazza to hit the volley. And when it went in, the Wembley just erupted. And I think that was when Euro '96 started. That moment, and then Jamie Redknapp with the it's so iconic. They've been talking about
the dentist chair.
Yeah, it's so yeah. I'm so excited for that game. But let's win
It's a full house, doesn't it? That's the one game you look at in the fixtures. It should be full.
It should be full, and it should be a celebration of football. You know, celebration of Scotland. Ain't been there for 20 odd years. You know, and they're there, so they're going to make a hell of a noise, their fans, if they get to come down and watch it. But yes, that is, for me, that's the standout game at the group stage out of all of the games.
And good that it's on a Friday night as well. How strong do you think this Scotland squad is?
I think they're strong. Well, the togetherness, I think they've got great togetherness. They've got some incredible individuals there. I think Robertson, I think Tierney, I think John.
Good characters, both of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
They have that, but their togetherness makes them even more dangerous because they haven't done it for a long time. I think there was a lot of doubts about if they can make it. Steve Clarke managed to pick the right players, to give the players that in form, or the ones that play well, they're going to be picked up. And they managed to qualify. And they qualified in a good way, you know, with excitement. And I think all the boys now are looking forward to be part of that European Championship. So I think that there could be a surprise there for them if they show the form they show in the qualifications.
Do you think they'll fancy getting to the knockouts? Because you've got like 4... of the third place teams are going to make it through as well. So it's a proper opportunity.
I'm not trying to win favour of any Scottish fans here, but I'm with Stan. I think they got very good players, very good characters. Them players he mentioned, Tierney, Robertson, McGinn, McTominay as well. Yeah. Like, I look at them as an ex-player looking at players and how they conduct themselves on the pitch. I think their characters stand out. I know Steve Clarke, he's a great organiser. And so I think they'll be structured, they've got quality, and they've got a great togetherness. I think they might surprise a few. I think they'll get out of the group, Scotland. They won't beat England. But.
No, but you know the funny thing is that they're all young.
Yeah.
The way they play, the profiles of the player, the intensity, the creativity, the speed that they've got. I think they could probably do a surprise of the tournament.
I'll tell you what
you've asked that earlier. Maybe Scotland could be.
I'll tell you what the bet is, Lynn. What I think for Scottish fans or football fans out there, I think they won't concede many goals. I think they'll go over back 5 and pack the midfield. So I think under 2.5 goals is the bet for Scotland games. I think all of their games will be tight, and that's how they'll play it.
I bet they just wish that Tierney and Robertson didn't play in the same position.
That's it, 2 world-class players in your team and both left backs.
Am I right in saying as well, Stan, that when you first went to Scotland, you worked in a burger van serving burgers to drunk Glaswegians to try and improve your English? How did that work?
It worked well for me. I know a lot. I've been asked this question so many times about why I've done it, and people laugh, people understand as well. But I had to learn the language. I went there. Obviously now, you've got player liaison. The players that look after. It wasn't like that when I signed for Celtic. When I signed for Celtic, it's like you're on your own. You're here to play football. That's the way it goes.
Sink or swim.
Yeah. And what I've realized, when you go to a special place, when you go somewhere, I didn't want to go back to Bulgaria. My dream was to develop as a player and individual. And that opportunity was given to me. I've managed to get there by all the hard work and the sacrifices I've done as a young boy, and I've become a man. When I went there, I saw what incredible places, and I didn't want to give up. When you don't want to give up, you want to do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, not just the burger van. I was in the cinema like 3 films a day. Yeah. And the reason of that is because I couldn't go to for lessons. I didn't have time. There was no training or traveling, so I had to do it in different ways.
How old were you then?
19. I just turned 20. I mean, I was dropped in Scotland. No word of English, different culture, no friends. I mean, I was on a very low contract as well. I think when I signed for Celtic, I was earning more money actually that I could afford. So it was a difficult time for me. But what I've realized, because that's where we as athletes, the competitive side, the encouragement, the resilience, it kicks in.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to be a failure going back home. You know, everybody's asking me, playing, how is everything? And sometimes we just put this fake mask and we go, oh, everything is fine. It wasn't fine. Yeah. Deep inside, I knew that I wasn't fit enough. I had the ability. I wasn't speaking the language as well. I can see, Joe, you've been in the dressing rooms. If you don't fit in the dressing room kicks you out.
Yeah. John Barnes was the manager there. What was he like?
John was... I didn't have a relationship with John because I couldn't speak the language. I think that job came to him too quick, because I felt for John, he still thought that he was a player. Right. I mean, he will train with us and he'll tackle players, he'll slide, you try to nutmeg, they'll try to nutmeg him. And I'm thinking, there's no respect here. It will never work. It will never work.
You're watching All to Play For, brought to you by Joe and Coral.
Tuesday. This is why you love international football. Thursday. The best ever goalless draw. Saturday. These guys might be underdogs, but you wouldn't miss this match. Every match day matters. So every time you collect 3 match day stamps, you get a £5 free bet. Match day rewards from Coral.
So you've been telling us about your Burger Van stint, which improved your English. You still haven't really told us who you're going to be supporting in that game, though. Go on, you're going to have to commit.
I'll go for England.
Good man.
It's not just because Joe is here. I like Joe and everybody else. I think there's just some kind of buzz and excitement about that team, about what they can offer. And they had so many young players that I would like to see how they're going to mature together in a big tournament.
Yeah.
So I'll go for England.
Well, Scotland 8-1 with Coral to beat England at Wembley in that one.
8-1.
8-1.
I think it'd be a tighter game than people think. Like I said, I just can't get made around life. When I close my eyes and envisage that game, it has to be a tight game. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1 maximum. It won't be a free scoring game.
How tight do you think the group's going to be? Because it's Czech Republic, Croatia, Scotland, England. I think a lot of people seem to think it's quite an easy group for England. Do you think it's as easy as some people are making out?
Not at all. Not at all. You know, funnily, we're talking about England winning it, and I also say it could be go the other way.
Yeah.
Would they be able? You know, first game against a very mature, strong Croatia team, and you know what, George, you mentioned something that England haven't won the opening game for many, many years. So that'll be interesting to see if that's going to be...
Never stand.
Not in the Euros.
Psychologically, that'll be there. But I think with a young team now, I don't think they really worry about history or, you know, you're talking about always England penalties and that. I don't think these young boys care about it now. They just want to go and express themselves and show what they do. So will be difficult, but I think they'll find enough strength and they've got enough quality to go through.
The first game, 2:00 on Sunday against Croatia. We've seen Gareth sort of experiment, chop and change in the friendlies and the warm-up games for it. How do you think he's going to set up?
I think he'll set up with a back five. I think obviously not having Harry Maguire.
He's going to go for strength in numbers.
I think whether he plays John Stones in the middle and Shaw and Kyle Walker beside him, with maybe Reece James right wing back and Chilwell left wing back. So I think he'll go with 5 defenders plus right. I think it'll be not negative. I think he'll be pragmatic in the first game in the sense that he won't want to lose. But the strength in this England team is in the attacking department. So it's better suited to get more of them guys on the pitch. But for this first game, I think Gareth will go to type and he'll go and try and maybe keep a clean sheet, go with 5 at the back. For me, Jack Grealish is the jewel in the crown in the final third. I want to play Mason Mount and Declan Rice in midfield. And then I'd play Jack off the left, Foden off the right, and Harry Kane through the middle. People might argue there's not blistering pace in the front three, but Pep manages to do it. He's played without players who are runners in behind. So,
it will be interesting that what Joe is saying. I do believe that Gareth Southgate has to be careful against Croatia, because they do have the players to punish you. They've got speed, they've got good creativity, and they've got players. They've done it in a big tournament as well. But what will be interesting, Joe, to see is, can he restrict those players that had a good seasons and they're playing attacking football? Yeah. And he's playing a lot of attacking-minded players. I know you're saying you're playing with the full-backs, and they're attacking-minded. They will leave a lot of space behind, which teams know how to use that space. So it'll be interesting to see, is he going to do that, or he just going to say, go and enjoy, go and play the way you know how to play? And because if you restrict the strengths, it becomes more problematic.
I think sorry, Lynsey.
I was going to say, so many of the fans just want the handbrake off, though, don't they? Because of the players that we've got in there up front. They don't want the cautious approach.
I think we're all trying to pick a team. I think the team that plays against Croatia will be will be different to the team that plays against Scotland, and maybe a different formation. But I see this team, this group of players, almost like this is a free hit for them. The World Cup in Qatar is the one where they're going to be ripe and mature. I think go into this tournament and just believe in our attacking play and our ability to hold the ball. We haven't had players with the ability to hold the ball. So you put Mount, Jack Grealish and Phil Foden in any midfield in the world, you are going to dominate possession and you're going to win free kicks with Jack. You're going to handle the ball. And we've never had that at a tournament. We've always been rock and roll football, bang, bang, bang. But now this is a different type of player. So go with it. Get them boys on the pitch. If I'm managing England, them three will be on the pitch in whatever system I play, because you got to get players in.
But the funny thing is that when I'm looking at it from different side of it, used to be, if you had Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard, you always said they have to play. Yeah, there's nobody else. There's nobody else. But now, what you do is now, if Foden start, everybody's happy. If Jack start, everybody's happy. If Mount start, because they've got that ability to change games. They all loved Rashford, Sterling, Kane. So whoever he picks and what system he goes, I think fans will go, I can see why. Yeah. Because you've got the ability. He had a great season. So now there's not many questions. No. But there's many questions for Gareth. Yeah. Who are you going to get in the right place, in the right position to win the games?
Yeah. Good problems to have. Yeah. Which other players do you think are really going to shine at the tournament then?
There's so many.
Yeah.
Joao Felix, I think. I really love watching. I know that there's so many down in Ukraine. They've got Capo as well, but Joao Felix, I think that could be his tournament. And I'll tell you why, because we mentioned about Portugal, about the way they play, the depth of the squad and that. But I think with him winning La Liga and playing really well, being part of it, of a big season, I think he's probably gonna be the one that's gonna shine.
He's a talent. And you know what as well? The way he's done great for Atletico Madrid, but the way Simeone plays isn't even great for him, and he's still performed. When he puts in that Portuguese team with Fernandes, Silva, Cancelo giving him the ball, he will thrive. That's a good shout. Do you know what else I like?
Bruno Fernandes as well. You've got to think he's got to have a good tournament this season. He's had.
We're not even mentioning Portugal too, you know. Look at it, the names we've picked up. So exciting. This European Championship has been probably one of the so many players in form at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see how the manager will deal with that and how they can, use players in the right way.
Yeah, I want to throw a name in, Linz. Chiesa for Italy, for the listeners, because I watched this lad play in the 21s tournament a few years ago, and he looked like a man playing amongst boys. He's direct. He's had a great season. I think he'll be one as well as a young player. One who there's always a young player that springs to people's mind. I think that'll be one that'll be a household name by the end of the tournament.
They're a team they've got such a nice balance between exciting young players coming through and experience. Yeah. I know England obviously we've got so many young players, maybe almost too much on that side, whereas Italy have got that balance. I think they're going to be dangerous.
We could do with a Bonucci or a Chiellini in the England squad, couldn't we?
Yes.
But them boys, that's a lovely. They seem to be. We talk about dark horses. they've got the blend to do it. The young players, experienced manager, experienced players at the back. Yeah, so yeah.
They're like unbeaten in 27
I
games,
know,
but people aren't talking about them so much because they sort of
great position to be in.
Ballsed up qualification for the World Cup, but on such a roll, aren't they?
You need the experience, and the experience you need it because as we've been there, you know, the blood is boiling and you just want to do it. You don't have a patience. Sometimes you need somebody to just hold it back, especially from negative moments. You know, this is the thing. We all excited with that, but what's happened if something go wrong in the first game? Who's gonna be there? Who's been there? Who's done it? Who's been in that position and go, hey, it's okay. We've got another 2 games. Let's move on. Let's keep believing. Let's keep everybody's behind us. We're playing home. So do they have that voice? Who's gonna be that? So that's where you talk about Italy, even Portugal, Ronaldo. You know, you know, look at him. He, even if he don't have his best European champions, you know, big tournament, he's the one who's done it. He'll go, okay, this is what we do. You've seen him on a touchline. You know,
well, when they did run it, he started managing, didn't he? And he went on.
You need players like that.
You need characters. You do.
You know, people questioning Jordan Henderson. Maybe
it's that guy for England.
There you go.
Who's going to be the breakout star, do you think? Which are the exciting young players that you think are really going to shine?
Jack Grealish. I know that we mentioned so many, but there's been so much hype, not just in England, around the world.
Yeah.
Is Jack good enough to play in a big team? Is Jack good enough to play for the national team? Is he good enough to be picked up as a starting? I just want to see that boy, just to see what he's going to, because he's a star around the world with what he does for Villa, not for the national team. I just want to see if that boy can just show what he's capable of, because he's got incredible ability, and I think that's because he's not there yet. He haven't done it in the big stage, and that's why I think he can show everybody what he's about.
What about Kai Havertz as well? Like, what do you think that goal in the Champions League final is going to do for his confidence?
Yeah, Kai had a difficult moment this year. You know, and I've constantly banging the drum for him all year because he was ill with COVID. You know, he's 21. He's come to a new country. He's left his family behind. Difficult circumstances. His manager who brought him in, who had a lot of belief in him, Frank, he leaves. You know, and it all culminated with him coming back to form. And then in the final, he was brilliant. Very similar to Jack. He's a ball carrier. Yeah. So he's a star. You know, and there's no doubt he could be a top player. But I'm with Stan with Jack. One of our Stan is, as a Villa man, do you think this is the right, like, it's not the right time, Jack? I think they're resigned to losing him, the Villa, or do you think they got a chance of keeping hold of him?
You know the funny thing is, I always question the club, and I always say is what direction the club goes. It's about how you're gonna keep Jack. You can only keep Jack if you're adding quality. To be honest, with the transfer, the last couple years of the transfers, now with the new transfers, I think they're trying to keep him, and I think he'll stay because what he can see.
Depends how good a tournament he has.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But you're always going to be that question. But don't forget one thing, and I admire him a lot. Whatever we say, Joe, and we say he deserves to play for this team. This boy just loved the club. Yeah, and sometimes we've seen. With Steven Gerrard. We've seen him. We've seen him. Look at him. And he's achieved a lot with the club. He's a legend. And, Jack loves the club. And, people say to me, but he has to go. I say, we all think that way. But sometimes the love is even bigger than, they're going somewhere else. And he wants to achieve things with the club. I believe that the club will be challenged. Yeah. Especially if you have
there'll be bids, won't
there?
Definitely. There'll be bids.
Definitely. And you know what? As a former player and as a fan now, and see him sad to go, it's inevitable. It happens with the big and the good players, and that's normal. And as a fan, I'd love to see him to go and play in like Champions League finals. You're talking about finals, talking about he's already won the Champions League. Yeah. People already noticing clocking that you're already a Champions League winner. Yeah. Jack is not there yet. But now with this tournament, you're talking about who's going to be the surprise, who's going to be the profile that everybody. That's why I think it's his moment to do it and to shine.
That's going to be a massive clamour for him to start with. The odds for young player of the tournament, Foden 7-2 favourite, Kai Havertz of Germany is 7-1, and Ferran Torres 9-1 as well. He could have a good tournament, couldn't he? What about the Golden Boot then?
Benzema's got to be up there. To coming back, he sounds, when you listen to his interviews, he sounds like a hungry lion. Like he's not been fed. He's not played for France for 5 years for off-field problems. Watched him. We did the semi-final Real Madrid against Chelsea. Best player on the pitch, Benzema, in what I've considered a poor Real Madrid team. Everything he does is just on point. It was only Mendy's fabulous save where he bent it into the top corner. He's full stretch got it that stopped him scoring. But I'm going to go with Benzema as top scorer. I think he's going to have a great tournament. He's one of my favourite players to watch over the last 10 years.
Well, the odds for Euro 2020 Golden Boot with Coral, Harry Kane 11-2, Mbappe's 8-1.
Benzema's more than Mbappe.
Cristiano Ronaldo 12-1, and Lewandowski 25-1. It's massive.
I to be honest, before you actually mentioned the odds, those two favourites for me, that's gonna Harry Kane and Mbappe. I think I've watched, obviously Bulgaria played France the other day. I think the boys is on a mission.
You reckon?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he could have scored probably 6.
Really?
Yes. He's so direct. He's so quick. Any team leave a space for this man, he will punish them.
He's ridiculous.
And he's converting now chances into goals, which makes him even more stronger. Harry Kane, he's gonna play with a special talent. They will create for him, and he's always in the right place. So I'll go for them two. Between them two.
Do you think Harry playing for England? You know, when we watched him for Tottenham this year, and he keeps dropping off into the pockets. Do you think there'll be a purposely tactically just to keep him the width of the box, just to get on the end of things, because he doesn't need to come back. We've got so many players who can handle the ball now. At Tottenham, he was all like Roy of the Rovers. He was doing everything.
Changed his role, really, hasn't he? It's almost you want him back in that out and out number 9 role.
Yeah, just don't worry about that. Leave that to us midfielders. You go up and put the ball back
there.
And
stay away from corners.
But that's the beautiful side of being international players, because you play with the best there. In Tottenham, especially this season, he had to adjust his game because for the sake of the team. He had to do a lot of different work for not what his strengths are. He had to sacrifice. He had to get away from the box. He didn't get in the box. He was running to challenge. He was dropping deeper. So he didn't have many chances. He wasn't there. Every time he had the chance when he's in the box, he converted them.
Something else.
And I'm sure Gareth Southgate will go, stay there. We'll get the ball to you. You just convert chances. You just score goals. And that's how you win games.
Sorry, Lynsey. If I was working with Harry Kane at this tournament, exactly that. I'll be setting up every session leading up. There won't be many, but it'll be like I'll be splitting the pitch into thirds. Don't come in here.
No.
Don't come in here. Don't go out there. Almost limit him into that role. Do you know? And build your team around, like your tactical movements when you're passing the ball and you're playing. Don't get Harry involved. Just bounce it off him and let Jack, Phil, Mason, whoever, Declan Rice, whoever plays, stay up there. And if he does that, he can win the Golden Boot.
Okay, let's get some predictions then. It's that time. I hear you're pretty good at these.
Yes, Lynsey. I'm not going to blow my own trumpet, but as soon as I've got it out, I did win the Predictions League last season.
Here we go.
Right, you've laid down the gauntlet now. Let's start with the opening match of the tournament then. It's Turkey against Italy. Friday night. What do you think?
Friday night.
In Rome.
I can only go with the Italians. I've been bigging them up. We all think they're the dark horses. Italy win, but it will be a tight game. 2-0, I'd say.
I'll go draw. 1-1. And I'll tell you why, because the opening game is always the hard one. Everybody want to make the impression. Everybody want to take a point. Everybody wants to be with a positive start. So I'll go for a draw. I'll go 1-1.
And you know they'll be dressed to impress.
Oh, they're going to look lovely, the Italians. I remember playing against Italy and walking out on the pitch, and we had the baggy Umbro tracksuits on, and we looked at them and they just looked like 23 supermodels, slicked up. Nesta was looking so nice. Cannavaro was so good looking, and then we just looked like a right ragged ass Rovers we did. They'll look great.
They look
whatever
the
happens.
part.
However they play, they'll look great.
They love their fashion. They love that. I remember when we were at 2004, we spent so much on suits and we're gonna look that way. We lost first game and the coach went tracksuit. We don't need this. So we just been there and it just moved on.
Be comfortable.
Yeah.
And at the Euros as well, every match matters with Coral as well. We're not going to predict just the big games as well, Stan. So who do you think is going to win Austria against North Macedonia on Sunday?
Ooh. I'm going to go for North Macedonia. They're neighbours, first of all.
Debutants
as well. They've got some interesting young players as well. So Pandev, he's still there, you know. So I'll go for North Macedonia. I'm going to go for it. Here we go. He's going to go for the
they beat Germany in a World Cup qualifier.
I do like that. I'll go draw. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not really up on my North Macedonian football at the moment, but after this tournament, I know a lot more about
You'll know
them.
everything. We'll quiz you on them at the end, at the end of it. Right, finally, let's get your predictions then for England's opening game against Croatia. 2:00 on Sunday. What are you going for?
I know. We have to be positive because I said they're going to win it. But I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
Sticking with that record of never winning the opening game.
Yeah. England 2-0. And I'm going to predict how the game's going to go. I'm going to predict England are going to dominate possession in the midfield. And I think we're going to...
Got to get the ball off Modric first.
Yeah, no, but I love Modric. He's a fantastic player. What a player. But I just think England's legs in the middle of the park are young. The youth will come into this team and play, and I think we'll win it.
We do 2 sitting or 1 sitting against Croatia?
I think he'll go Rice and Mount. Mount will play in a deeper position, and that will allow Sterling. I think he'll go with Sterling off the left, Foden off the right, Kane up through the middle. I think he'll do that. But I think we'll dominate the ball.
As you're that good then, who's going to score the 2 goals?
Harry Kane.
Both.
1 from open play, 1 from a pen.
Start working on that golden boot straight away in the first game.
That's him done.
Mate, what price would that be? Come on, Coral. England 2-0, Harry Kane 2 goals. That's surely a special for the punters, that one.
We'll find out. The Coral odds for those games, so you can back Turkey to win over Italy at 7-1, North Macedonia at 24-5 to beat Austria, and if you're feeling confident, England are 11-1 to beat Croatia 3-0 in the opening game. That's not bad, is it?
That's not bad.
Stan, thank you very much for coming on. It's been lovely to see you.
Guys, it was a pleasure.
Great to see you, Stan. Great to see you.
And great to see you looking well as well.
And you, mate.
Joe have a tan as well.
I know. It's the golf course.
I love that. How's golf, by the way?
Same as always, mate. Shanking it that way, then shanking it that way.
So we're the same.
Enjoy.
We're the same.
Thank you, guys. Remember as well to find us on Sunday as well on the Joe YouTube channel as well, or wherever you find your podcast, because right after England-Croatia, we're going to give you our immediate post-match reaction and analysis as well.
Does that mean I have to say sober, Lyns?
You do, yeah. That's actually, I never really thought about that, actually. I've
got the gaffer giving me that one over there. Is that okay?
But Scotland, you might be able to go out on Friday night and then we'll do it the day after.
Oh, that'd be great.
So you'll be all right.
Sort of.
You've been watching All to Play For, brought to you by Joe and Coral.